Hey, this is John from whatifi, and in this fictional example, we're going to model out a software as a service customer growth model. In this model, we're going to look at two different growth models with different percentages. And let's pretend this company is also looking at pitching investors, so as they're modeling out growth, they're also looking at some potential price increases for their software in the future. And we're going to use modifiers to model out those two different scenarios. If you're not familiar with whatifi gives you the ability to connect together these pre-built business logic events. For example, we have things like debit, credit, income, expense, banks, and loans. Relatively soon, you'll be able to connect to QuickBooks or Xero. Or on the customer side of things, you can look at customers, growth and churn, spending money on campaigns to drive people to your website, customer conversions, and a whole host of other business logic events that allow you to model out financial scenarios without formulas or spreadsheets. So in this example here, we're going to step through the basics of what this model has. So here in the first event, we're establishing two customer cohorts. Cohort 1 has 50 people effective March 1st, and cohort 2 has 200 people effective March 1st. Then we have our first decision or option. In one stream, we're looking at having all of our customer cohorts growing 10% month over month. Or in the other stream or reality, we're looking at having cohort 1 only grow by 15%, and cohort 2 has a dynamic growth curve. So in April it's 5%, and it changes over time, and we are interpolating between these milestones. We have churn for customer cohort 1, 3.5%, 4% for customer cohort 2, and then we have our unit cost event here. Product number 1 is $40 a month. Product number 2 is $85 a month. We've also factored in cost of goods sold and profit margins for this particular product. The revenue event is literally multiplying customers that are grown and churn over time times their respective products. And then we get into our two scenarios here. In one version, we are looking at raising our prices in July by 25%. Or in another version, we're looking at what if we raise our prices in January of the next year, but we double those prices on that same product. And last, we have a goal event here, where we're looking at setting up some net worth goals here that we can monitor over time. And we also have two versions of those. So let's dig a little bit deeper. So with whatifi, our algorithm runs through every single possible scenario here and calculates all of these accounts. So we now have 4 threads that are all running concurrently here. And we can look at things like cash flow, for example, in all 4 scenarios, monthly or cumulatively. Right? We can also look at other different lenses. So maybe we're interested in our customer counts and understanding what our customers look like in these 2 scenarios here as well. So let's bring those up, and we can explore customers to see what our monthly customers and our cumulative customers look at over time and how they measure up with some of the goals that we've set for customer growth. Now, one of the things you can also do with a scenario like this is we give you the ability to drill deeper into an individual scenario. So for example, we could drill into this one unique scenario here, and we can go into some different modes. So I can go into something like cumulative mode here. And again, we're looking at customers right now, cumulatively, and we can step through the model one event at a time. So right now we have no customers. Then we have our initial customers that we established in that first event. Then we have the growth, 15% for cohort 1. We have the dynamic growth for cohort 2. Then we have churn. We have additional churn. And we can see how our customer counts change over time. If we want to drill in deeper, we can go into an individual mode here. And now we can look at just the churn in cohort 2, or just the churn in cohort 1, or just the growth in cohort 1. And this allows us to understand the levers that drive the overall scenario's success and the numbers that make up that success. And again, we can look at all these different accounts as needed, but if we go back to basic cash flow and the profitability of these scenarios, we're able to see which of these 4 scenarios is the most successful over time, and then we can make choices and decisions based upon those projections. And that's whatifi.